What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fight Form. Obviously, I'm your boy Showtime. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you watch this whole thing through. Today's conversation is actually a very important discussion around the world, which is mental health. We just obviously it's the Olympics that's happening right now, and the greatest of all time in gymnastics, which is Simone Biles, just forfeited basically competing in the games. I'm not big on gymnastics. I'm not gonna act like I am. This isn't about Simone Biles. This is just about the reason why she's not competing, which was because of her mental health. People saying she was injured. Her trainer or coach or whatever came out to say that it was actually mental health. She just needs to take a mental break. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, and this is what I'm wrapping around, is comparing it towards fighters. And I love how everybody is really wrapping their arms around her, and then also about Osaka, who's the tennis player who also once again forfeited out of, I believe, Wimbledon. Once again, I'm not a tennis guy either, but I'm just, I just remember Osaka basically saying she needs a break from the media and all that good stuff, and she needed a mental health clear, and she took away. I mean, she forfeited. And everybody wrapped their arms around her as well, things of that nature. And it just made me think about like fighters and how, it sucks, but we treat them differently. I don't believe fighters have, and this is not like just me like stating facts. It's just my opinion. I would love to hear what you guys think about mental health in the MMA community and also boxing. This is not just actually in combat sports, period. But it sucks to say that, I don't know if it's because they're women or minorities or it's because of the sport they're in, but I don't think that combat athletes are in the luxury of having that same benefit. I'm not saying no fighter has taken off because of mental health. GSP retired because of mental health. I remember him saying after his interview he needed time away. He needed to get his mind clear. Plenty of fighters vacation after fights. Tyson Fury retired and went out because of his mental health. It happens. But here's my thing. Have we ever seen a fighter pull out of a fight because of mental health? I can't recall. And I don't even know if it's even possible for that to even be a thing. I think they will fake an injury before they say it's my mental health. And that's a very toxic thing because when you really think about it as fighters, if you sit here and you say, I cannot fight such and such because my mental health is not in check, what is going to happen? Is the MMA community, is the world going to wrap their arms around them? If Conor was to sit there and he was the, pull out of a fight, if if Deontay Wilder pulled out of a fight because of mental health, is people going to really wrap their arms around? I don't believe so. It's just a different breed and a different game, man. And it sucks to say because, in my opinion, I feel like they have more mental warfare than any other athlete in the world. Because at the end of the day, you have to go from being a regular man in society to a man and woman that wants to kill another person, that be willing to kill another person. Because in reality, when it comes to this combat business, people die every day. You're getting punched in the brain for a living. And to go from that back to a regular human being, it can wear on you mentally. But we're in a mindset in a time now where if you sit there and you pull out of a fight and you say, yeah, I got to get my mental health in order. Oh, he's scared. Oh, he's ducking. We hear about these fighters ducking each other, especially in boxing, all the time. And if you sit here and say my mental health isn't clear, I can't fight this person, you're really going to, and let alone your opponent using that for ammo. And it sucks to say that we live in this time and age where that happens because at the end of the day, the best of the best, you still go through mental battles, man. The media, Twitter, social media, all these things weighing on your brain. And then it goes to a point where it say, where do you consider it to be mentally, just being mentally tough? Or the fact that it's just like, bro, we're human. And at the end of the day, we can only handle so much. And you got to think about the people like the Muhammad Ali's that literally went to prison for his cause and having the whole country that wasn't black going against him because he didn't want to sacrifice his body and his time for the war. Things of that nature. And you got to think of people like that. And you're like, well, if Muhammad Ali could do it, anybody in these days can do it. No, it doesn't work that way. Everybody's different. And yes, we honor Muhammad Ali for what he stands for now, but nobody that was not of color was, behind Muhammad Ali, and everybody was really against him that wasn't of color. So, I mean, I hope that it's something that does change. And I'm like happy that Simone Biles and all these athletes now are sitting here, are taking their mental health into value because we don't want to have these stories where people are killing themselves 30 or 40 years in because their mental health wasn't in check. That is the most important thing. Any athlete knows. They say what the game is important, but your mental is more important. They say what the game is what 90% mental. I hear that in football. I heard that in wrestling. I heard that in MMA, and it's just a fact. If you're not mentally clear, I know I've lost matches because my mind wasn't clear. I was putting so much on myself. I was so stressed out with the mental warfare that I couldn't even produce. So, I mean, we have to start taking an account with these, and I hope fighters are making sure their mental is in check. And at the end of the day, if you got to pull out of a fight because your mental isn't right, it is what it is, man. I get it. I understand it. And I just think that us as human beings need to understand that more rather than sit here and say, oh, you can't do that as a fighter. You're a warrior. You have to just sit there and take that. I don't think it's smart. Because like I said, that gets really dangerous, and that's how people commit suicide. And that's the last thing I want to see any fighter commit suicide. Now, that's not me saying that. Don't get me wrong, because let me also put in this perspective. That does not mean that I say that every fighter needs to keep pulling out because things are hard. Life is hard. You're gonna have to go through mental battles, and sometimes you are gonna have to fight through it. But you do know, as a human being and as an adult or whatever it is, you know the difference between something you can fight and something that's just way too much. All right. So there is a struggle, but you got to know every time you fight somebody, there's going to be a struggle. Sometimes you are going to have to be a human being, be a man and woman, and say, it is what it is. I got to perform and I got to make this money. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Mental health is such an important thing, and I'm so happy that it's been brought to light these past few years, and it just needs to keep being a thing that we talk about until the end of time, honestly. So thank you guys for watching. Once again, tell me what you think. This is Showtime's Fight Forum. I'm your boy Showtime. Be blessed.